You finish your work for the day, walk into the living room, and drop onto the couch. Your body has stopped moving, and you instinctively reach into your pocket to start swiping. 2 hours pass. You haven't left the cushion, but instead of feeling physically and mentally recharged, your head feels incredibly heavy. Your chest is tight with a vague, cloudy anxiety that wasn't there when you sat down. We label this downtime relaxing, but your brain is actually suffocating under a relentless avalanche of digital noise. Every continuous scroll and every pinging notification forms a loud, constant barrier. We construct this wall to block out our own internal thoughts. Curious, if swiping leaves us feeling exhausted and anxious, why do we compulsively pull our phones out the exact second we have free time? We are using digital noise as a form of escapism to avoid facing our own lives. To fix this, we need a specific, radical intervention. To understand why sitting in a quiet room suddenly feels so dangerous, we have to look past the physical habit of scrolling and examine the internal, neurological reality. This graph represents your natural dopamine baseline. Introducing the instant gratification of modern notifications artificially inflates that baseline, spiking above its normal level. When you pause those digital stimuli, those spikes plummet below your original baseline, throwing your brain into a chemical deficit. Psychologically, that sudden deficit is painful. It manifests as a tight panic in your chest, a short-tempered irritability, or an incredibly sharp boredom. Your brain senses this intense discomfort and triggers a defense mechanism, driving you back to the digital noise to self-medicate and escape those negative feelings. The inability to sit quietly stems from a chemical dependency on distraction. We use it to avoid our own compromised psychological baseline. Breaking this dependency requires an extreme treatment known as radical self-confinement. The parameters of the 48-hour silence protocol are simple but difficult. You deliberately starve yourself of all digital inputs, notifications, and external distractions. It takes a full 48 hours for overloaded neural receptors to naturally clear out and return to a neutral, open state. The friction of the first 24 hours is abrasive. Your anxiety will likely increase, and the silence in the room will feel heavy and uncomfortable. You will experience the mirror effect. Without a digital buffer to hide behind, you are forced to sit completely alone with your true self. Enduring this forced starvation is the only mechanical way to process the withdrawal. By letting the brain stop running, you allow its fundamental baseline to reset. As the 48-hour protocol concludes and you re-enter standard reality, you will notice a distinct mental shift. The heavy anxiety from 2 days ago lifts. Your mind begins to acclimate to the natural pace of an undigitized environment. With a normalized baseline, simple actions like reading or sitting quietly with a cup of coffee register as rewarding and engaging again. The value of this protocol is the realization that you don't need the noise to function. It provides the perspective needed to step out of the cycle of escapism. You trade the suffocation of digital noise for the newfound spaciousness gained by enduring the silence. Cut the cord, stop running from your own thoughts, and endure the 48 hours necessary to reclaim your mental autonomy. Silence is not a void to flee from. It is the essential environment where the true self finally has the oxygen to breathe.